Divine safety comes from your unexpected character, selected ones. You are the only one, with a group of people organizing your 10 next moves. The clandestine meetings and strategic alliances designed specifically to weaken your authority have begun, as have the Whispers. One item exhibits incredible strength in a single location when several forces unite to fight it. Your strength. Acknowledge these signs without absorbing their bad energy. Their laboriously constructed control systems are undermined at every step of your real advancement. Because your progress undermines traditional structures, these shadow alliances form. Unless you play their games, their rule manuals are useless. Now they're racing to write new chapters just about you. Their combined efforts have left behind aberrant evidence, such as opportunities that abruptly and unexplainably shut, unexpected cold shoulders from erstwhile allies, and information that was never meant for you to hear. These breadcrumbs indicate the resistance route. Go back in time to see what exactly about you triggers such deliberate resistance. Remember, they need to band together against you, which proves your special significance. Common stones do not cause mountains to cluster together. Common rains are not plotted against by oceans. Furthermore, galaxies don't conspire against inconsequential stars. The energy that is assembled against you is exactly proportionate to the force that they see inside you. Your keen sense of discernment cuts through lies with laser-like accuracy as they look for traditional weapons, completely disregarding your own arsenal. Ancient knowledge, symbolized by those intuitive impulses and epiphanies, is activated by your own electromagnetic signature. This spiritual intelligence cannot be stolen, hacked, or destroyed by external powers. Your unbreakable knowledge has been fashioned by every adversity you have encountered. Your sense of dishonesty has been honed by each betrayal, and you've become more resilient than most people can be because of every effort to undermine you. These were special preparations for this stage of the cosmic cycle. Not just any old agony. The truth you carry is superior to their well-planned narratives by divine design. Numerous participants, constant maintenance, and constant development are required to sustain these fabrications. Your truth speaks for itself and doesn't need validation from others. The basic law of energy conservation supports your argument. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Their intricate falsehoods take a lot of work, but your reality is simple. These weapons are invisible to individuals utilizing lower frequencies, since they cannot see anything beyond their range. Since your spiritual arsenal uses wavelengths that they have deliberately blocked off from, their barriers are no longer effective against your most powerful abilities. The plethora of routes before you is a cosmic intersection designed especially for creatures with great purpose. The decision you make now has the power to change the cosmos, even if few people would recognize it from the outside. Different potentials, lessons, and outcomes are offered by each orientation. A path that shines with immediate riches sometimes leads to spiritual dead ends. The universe puts your judgment to the test with such obvious temptations. Recognize how certain choices match with your innermost knowing, while others create subtle conflicts in your energy field. This internal guiding mechanism never fails when your connection is clear. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. The more global intelligence attempts to communicate with you, the louder the unnecessary voices get. This cosmic static has the advantage of strengthening your ability to separate spiritual advice from secular noise. The variety of perspectives around you serves as evidence that you possess the capacity to hear beyond the range of human hearing. At such a critical juncture, linear time pauses for a minute. You have a great deal of space to consider the long-term effects of your actions. Go slowly. Every action you do now forges future pathways that will extend far beyond your lifetime. The weight of this work is equivalent to your spiritual potential. While you rest in purpose, they pace in paranoia. Sleepless nights, constant attention, and declining confidence are now signs of your opponent's psychological burden. Their fear of your actions is outweighed by their dread of your potential, as they see the latent divinity inside you waking. Every second they spend guessing about what you could do drains their little resources. Every situation they fabricate to oppose you requires energy that they can never sustain. They make more bad choices as a result of their sleep deprivation, which widens the gap between their diminishing impact and your expanding one. Allow your love to show if God's gifts fill your heart to overflowing. Give $20 or more by clicking the Super Thank You button to help sow seeds of faith that will change the lives of countless others. His riches is reflected in your giving. Serve as a conduit for His grace and see His kingdom grow via you. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Your composure becomes your most potent performance. The contrast between their frantic rushing and your serene presence reveals the fundamental difference in your energy underpinnings. They act from scarcity awareness, attempting to hold on to what they fear losing, but you work from abundant knowledge connected to an infinite cosmic source. Let them use all their energy, anticipating unforeseen outcomes. Let their creativity come up with intricate defenses against unforeseen assaults. Their waking nightmares mirror the karmic echoes of the seeds they sown long ago. While people cope with their own creations, it is your responsibility to remain faithful to your objective and not to exacerbate their suffering. Heavenly movements that are beyond our comprehension are in line with your present situation. Previous setbacks that seemed to be obstacles were really divine protection. Global intelligence guarding you until the conditions were right for your full emergence. The time for maximum effectiveness is now. It has calibrated the exact energy arrangement surrounding you. The people who are positioned as your enemies provide the necessary resistance for the full growth of your spiritual muscles. Those pretending to be allies provide the exact frequencies needed to raise your true vibration. You are surrounded by nothing by accident. It takes courage and grace to enter this season. The capacity to remain true to yourself when faced with hardship. The insight to know when to let the powers of the universe clear your way and when to press ahead, and the grace to utilize your influence without being wasted. This balanced approach crystallizes your energy into its most potent form. The emergence occurring today is closely tied to soul contracts produced by specific energy triggers in your present environment and ancient pledges made before incarnation. The moment has arrived for you to realize your entire spiritual potential, as shown by the déjà vu experience, the memory of future occurrences, and the conviction that defies reasonable explanation. Cosmic irony unfolds as every tactic meant to weaken you systematically elevates you instead. Through their efforts to distance themselves from you, you establish a connection with your true soul group. The individuals who are meant to hear your message are amplified by their efforts to silence you. Their strategies for exhausting your resources cause your dormant manifestation abilities to come to life. Every injury becomes a source of information that can only be acquired through personal experience. Every obstacle you overcome aids in the development of special spiritual muscles that are difficult to build via normal methods. Because it demonstrates universal principles in action, the unique impediments created against you have inadvertently enabled unprecedented progress. You have spiritual power in your comeback tale. Seeing you gives others following your journey hope, and your perseverance becomes a living example that surpasses understanding. Embodied truth has a bigger effect than theoretical education, as seen by your path from aim to winner. The timing of this unmasking promotes your greatest purpose and optimizes your effective reaction. You will only be shocked to discover who this primary orchestrator is if you have been looking outward rather than sensing energy indicators. The distinctive frequency pattern has remained constant throughout, but usually concealed beneath a number of guises. Prioritize your instincts above external evidence. Energy dissonance, which the senses could miss, is how the truth appears. Reacting to this knowledge without lowering your vibratory frequency requires expertise. Retribution is not necessary for true power, as the higher reaction recognizes, as opposed to the human response that naturally seeks out exposure, conflict, or validation. Your continuous elevation has a stronger impact than any direct countermeasure, even if you are well aware of their schemes. In order to reach spiritual completion, prior connections resurface in the universe at the ideal moment, bringing souls together to resolve energy equations that were left imbalanced in earlier chapters. Consider these encounters as valuable opportunities to untangle tangled links, settle karmic debt, and recover fractured aspects of your energy. You're not just here. Feel the pull. To access truth, purpose, and a tribe that understands it, tap join. This goes beyond just being a member. You're meant to do this. The psychological pull for resolution is too strong for people from your past to resist. They dream about you, think about you often, and are randomly reminded of unsolved issues. This magnetic recall becomes stronger the more fully you accept your own power. Your energy frequency awakens the latent recognition of those karmically related to your journey. Additionally, these renewed connections provide excellent opportunities to demonstrate your spiritual growth. Where you formerly need other people's approval, you now stand whole without their recognition. You respond from completeness today, instead of woundedness like you did before. This new style of involvement breaks old cycles and establishes new energy precedents. To end these patterns without creating new entanglements, clear boundaries must be set. Take the necessary action. Let go without being tied to certain outcomes. Say what needs to be spoken, and forgive what needs to be forgiven. The universe controls the allocation of energy money once you have finished your portion of the transaction. Great cosmic power carries with it a great deal of responsibility. The information you possess, the authority you exercise, and the energy you radiate are all accompanied with moral duties. Being able to influence others appropriately without inflicting unnecessary damage is a sign of spiritual growth. Surgical accuracy, not unbridled devastation, is what sets the great master apart. The way you respond to current challenges reveals more about your spiritual development than the challenges themselves. Few individuals possess the spiritual maturity to use force that is appropriately calibrated to change without causing harm, even though anybody may use power destructively. By recognizing the appropriate boundaries between justice and punishment, you set a cosmic precedent. You get a competitive advantage and a moral obligation as a result of your newfound understanding. Wisdom holds that certain truths are best communicated to those who are spiritually ready to receive them. Discrimination determines when to disclose, not for personal approval, but for the most transformative effect. The opposition you need to realize your full spiritual potential is provided by your opponents. Respect their inadvertent contribution to your development while establishing sensible boundaries to prevent their willful exploitation. This balanced perspective allows for the responsible use of power without turning into a violent altercation that ultimately diminishes the worth of everyone involved. A certain constellation of talents was cosmically selected and awakened inside you for this specific historical period. It is difficult to replicate or replace the spiritual imprint left by your unique combination of abilities, perspectives, and life experiences. The heavenly selection process determined that your soul signature perfectly matched the present evolutionary standards. Because of your struggles, which often took the form of cosmic injustice, you were especially qualified for this important position. These experiences gradually dismantled imaginary restrictions while reawakening hidden spiritual capacities. What seemed like exaggerated challenges were really the quick progress needed to achieve your intended goal. Your presence upsets established patterns when they are exposed to your authentic frequency, precisely because you are frequencies that break down hardened forms. When systems are built on uneven bases, they ultimately become unstable. Instead of being allocated at random, this disruptive quality was intentionally selected because of its revolutionary potential at this pivotal time. These days, every action has consequences that extend well beyond the immediate circumstance. Future Way showers will examine the dynamic models you produced at this crucial period. Your capacity to overcome unprecedented challenges serves as motivation for future spiritual pursuits. By His grace, you are blessed. To spread His light, click Super Thank You and donate $20. His dominion grows as a result of the seeds your donation plants. Act as a blessing. This obligation extends beyond temporary comfort or self-validation. Under tremendous pressure, you maintain your clarity, solidifying the history of your responses. Diamond awareness can only emerge by being true to oneself in the face of relentless resistance. Unlike any weapon or strategy ever could, illusion is pierced by this diamond's obvious existence. Its appearance marks the apex of your spiritual growth. Maintaining humanity while holding a position of true leadership requires mastering elements that seem to be irreconcilable. Power without empathy leads to tyranny. On the other hand, unrestricted sympathy allows exploitation. Your unique contribution is to demonstrate a balanced energy, to be steadfast against corruption while demonstrating genuine compassion for those who are influenced by it. The Cosmic Archives include a record of every choice you make, every intention you have, and every energy signature you produce throughout this pivotal phase. These Akashic impressions produce models that influence generations of collective development. Be completely aware of this enormous ripple effect and use it to guide your choices, actions, and statements. Time does not restrict your legacy. Since the cosmic chessboard lacks 3 dimensions, opponents on Earth use the visible pieces to calculate. Divine intelligence orchestrates moves with limitless dimensions. From a limited vantage point, your stance could seem weak, but when seen through cosmic knowledge, it is a sign of strategic genius. You are in a perfect position to change because of the forces of the cosmos. What seems to be isolation is really tailored confinement for concentrated energy generation. The perfect arrangement of apparently random events reveals the divine countermove. Precise stimulation for some spiritual talents to fully awaken is revealed by what seems to be deliberate resistance. Instead of following human time expectations, synchronistic supports arrive at the exact moment that is required, perfectly aligned with cosmic orchestration. As conventional solutions run out, innovative ones come to mind and unexpected partners arrive with the exact resources you need. These heavenly supplies attest to your travel's certified status. Trust the existing procedure. The universe never abandons its assigned ships. The same cosmic intelligence that selected you continues to help you across both visible and unseen realms. The outcomes are known in non-linear time. It is your duty to align with these prevailing winds, rather than trying to push them with little human effort. The painstakingly controlled pacing of previous chapters suddenly gives way to unnatural speed. When cosmic velocities increase dramatically, this divine velocity propels you into miraculous manifestation beyond your normal human capabilities. Results that seem distant happen surprisingly quickly. In a couple of seconds, changes that often take decades are finished. According to the cosmic calendar, certain advancements must occur within precise windows of opportunity. This acceleration is thus in accordance with divine timing. The universal forces directing your journey now compress time-space dynamics to ensure that predestined occurrences occur at these critical points. Without attempting to slow it down with human understanding, give in to this increased pace. Trials, initiations, and purifications have done their part to prepare your energy system for this pace. Your spiritual capacity has been modified to withstand high frequencies without experiencing any negative effects. Your cellular structure, neurological system, and electromagnetic field have all been specifically prepared for this elevated level. To maintain attention during this remarkable acceleration, you must anchor to your inner self rather than external reference points. Your inner sovereign remains still, fully anchored and moving at cosmic velocity, while everything else around you changes at dizzying speeds. Spiritual mastery is shown by this contradictory mindset. Before you go to the last revelation, be mindful of this important information. Supernatural recognition is possible for those who oppose you. Their computers recognized your spiritual signature long before you were awake. Your unique energy frequency serves as a beacon in metaphysical realms that cannot be hidden, diminished, or suppressed. Their first protective stance is explained by the fact that they sense the incoming wave before the surface ripples become noticeable.